I'm going to do my functions test. So as you can see, I have my points here, and I'm going to plot my function. It's important that you label your axes X and Y, because you want to make sure you have all of your key points of your graph labeled. When labeling your x-axis, you want to make sure it follows up directly with your x points. As you can see, I have 1 through 9, so I made sure 1 through 9 goes on the x-axis evenly. Same thing for the y. So our x-axis is going to be the number of men working on painting a room. And the y-axis is going to be the number of hours it's going to take for them to paint the room. And there's my function. Now on to the questions. The first question is, what point in the graph is a maximum or minimum? My graph here, I have a minimum. So for number 1, I'd say the minimum is at point 5, 1. For the second question, I ask on what interval is the function increasing? And for these questions, I need to be using proper function notation. So as we can see, our function is increasing over this interval, but at 5, it's not increasing or decreasing. That's the minimum. So I make sure I want to use a parenthesis at 5, and it's increasing all the way through 9, and it's increasing at point 9, so we want the close bracket. That's proper function notation. So for 3, it's asking when it's decreasing. So same type of thing, it's decreasing from all the way to here until it reaches 5, and that's a minimum. That's where it's changing. So from 1 to 5, and remember 5 is with the parenthesis bracket instead of the square. And for the fourth, I just have to explain how the function I made relates to a real life scenario. So this function shows the relationship of the number of men working to the number of hours it takes to paint a room. So it's showing that if I have the more men I use, the less time it takes to paint a room. But if I use too many men to paint the room, it's gonna become too crowded, and then it's gonna take longer. So it's gonna show that there's a maximum output that I want that'll utilize. So at 5 men working, that's the shortest time, because if I start hiring more men, it's going to take longer. So that I'm not going to do the video of me writing that whole answer. That was my explanation of it, and that's the functions test.